So this will be an oil change for a 2008 Honda Santa Fe 2.7 liter engine. So if you can unscrew 3 things and screw in 3 things, that's basically an oil change. And so I know a lot of ladies are scared of cars and don't know what to do, and basically once you can master an oil change, it's probably one of the simplest things to do. You can really start saving yourself a lot of money. So I always used to go to these quick change oil places, and they do a good job, but they're really expensive, and they have a tendency to upsell you a lot of different things. So since my vehicle is starting to hit almost 280,000 miles, it qualifies as high mileage. And most places will charge you anywhere between $40 to $60 for high mileage. And I showed you the 2 items I used before. It's about 20 bucks in oil and filter, so it's cheaper to do it yourself. So when you go in for a simple oil change at these high price, high pressure places, they'll try and sell you transmission flushes and fuel system flushes and blinker grease and muffler bearings and stuff you really don't need. And all you want to get is an oil change, and you walk out with a $300 bill. So it's really not worth it, the hassle and the aggravation. It's just easier to do it yourself, and in under 20 minutes it can all be done. The other benefit of doing it yourself is you know exactly what's going into your car, so they can't shortchange you on oil and give you some cheaper brand and you'll never know. I actually had one place that I brought my truck into when it was low on oil to get an oil change. It would knock when it got real low on oil, and after I got done with the wheel alignment and supposedly an oil change, I rolled out of there and it was still knocking, and they told me we changed the oil, and they didn't. So that place will be not named tire, and that's one of the benefits of doing it yourself. So these are the tools that you need. You'll need a oil catch pan here, a 3/8-inch ratchet, and a little extension, and an oil filter cap remover, and a 17mm socket. I'll post the parts in the link description below. Okay, so before you start the process, make sure your oil drain pan here, that plug is open, and also the pressure relief is open. If those 2 aren't open, the oil will just basically overflow and overpressurize the drain plug and not go into the catch can there. Okay, having a jack really does help to get into the car. You don't have to have one, but it really helps. Okay, the first thing I like to do is take the oil cap off. So here's where it is, and this is how you do it. Next, slide underneath your car, and there's the oil filter, and there's the oil pan. And at the end of the oil pan is the drain plug. That's a 7mm metric bolt, and once you find that, that's what you're going to put your socket set on and drain the oil with. Okay, I already loosened the bolt with the socket, so it's lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, or counterclockwise loose and clockwise tighten. And all you got to do is, after you crack it loose, unscrew it, and the oil will kind of spurt out that way, as it's doing right now. And you want to have the oil pan there a little bit to the right of where the oil is coming out, because it splashes out a little bit further than the center. Okay, after the oil starts gushing out, it'll slow down in volume, and once that volume kind of goes to a slow trickle, as you can see it's doing right here, then you can take your drain pan bolt and put it back into the hole. I don't let it drain all the way out. It can take forever, so once it comes to a small little drizzle like that, you can put the bolt back in. I'd like to start it by hand so I don't have any problems of trying to cross thread it, and then once I get done, I'll kind of clean my hands off and also clean the bolt off. It just makes for a cleaner installation, and for the next guy that does it, he's not worried about slipping his wrench off the bolt, and it also makes it look clean. So it's a way to take care of your car. So once you do that, then you take your 17mm socket and you tighten the bolt. And so a little bit forward of the drain pan is the oil filter, which is right there, and it's a really tight position. There's not a lot of room to get your hands around it. That's why I use that oil remover cap thingy here, oil filter wrench, let's call it that. So that'll allow you to really, get your hands in there. If you got kind of fat hands like I do, it's hard to get your hands around the filter. And so once I do that, I'll loosen it, and you can either let it drain like this, or just, I don't want to wait, so I just pull the whole thing off. You'll get a little bit of oil on your hand, but you're not going to die. So once I do that, then I put that into the drain pan as well, and obviously you want your drain pan underneath your oil filter right there, and make sure that that is all metal and there's no gasket around that, because otherwise if the gasket comes off the oil filter, then you're basically double gasketing it. And so once you get that all taken off, take your oil filter, rub some oil around the rim there, and that'll keep it from sticking when you pull this one off for your oil change. Some guys write their mileage on there. I know what my mileage is when I change it, and then I just kind of stick it back up in there. And I also like to clean it off again, kind of make it look presentable. Once it's done, you can probably just tighten it by hand. That's good enough. And maybe take the oil wrench and give it an eighth of a turn. Okay, once you put the filter on, the drain plug back in, you're ready to pour some oil. And most every oil can I see has these little tick marks. It'll tell you how much oil is left in the container. So for my car, it's 4.76 quarts, which is almost the whole can. Once we dump that in, then we can get started. Alright, then just take the oil and use a funnel if you're a dribbler like I am, and pour it into the crankcase, which is where the oil cap is. Kind of make sure you're putting the right amount in. And again, 4.76 quarts for the 2.7 liter Santa Fe 2008. Once that's done, I like to fire up the car and check to make sure there's no magic smoke coming out and everything runs well. So once everything's running correctly, I'll let it idle for about 5 minutes and make sure nothing's wrong and everything's copacetic and everything works. Once you pass that phase, you know nothing's squirting out and everything's good to go, you can shut it off, and then now consider your oil change successful, and you pocketed and saved 40 bucks. I also like to wait till the engine's cooled off and then double check my oil levels. So I'll pull up my dipstick, make sure the oil is kind of a golden color when I wipe it off on the rag, which you can see here. It's pretty golden there, so you'd expect that with a new oil change. As the time goes on, it'll get blacker and blacker, and that's kind of a discriminator as to when the oil needs to get changed. And then I make sure that I'll stick it again to kind of confirm the first test and make sure that the oil's filled to the second dot, which is the full line. So right there's the second dot. So it's filled to that second dot. Oil tank's full, gas tank's full, life is good, and hopefully this will save you guys some money when you're working on your own car and build some confidence on how cars work. So if you're saving $40 a pop on an oil change, you do 3 oil changes a year. That's $120. In 10 years, you save $1,200. So hopefully this inspires you to save yourself some money, and please like and subscribe.